Hello and welcome! It's been a while since I last bought a game without doing any research on it beforehand, and last time I remember doing it was with The Sims 2 for the PSP. I remember going into the store and thinking that this was going to be the PC game, but made specifically for the PSP. However, much like making a mistake at a drive-thru, I didn't really realize my mistake until I got home. But weirdly enough, I actually enjoyed that mistake of a meal, and I really enjoyed this game. And I never really thought twice about it. So today I'll be taking a closer look at the PSP game and seeing why I really enjoyed this title. Check out our games from us at 16-Bit Games, like Robotipede. It's a fast-paced top-down shooter with easy-to-learn controls, and it's available for free from the Apple App Store, Google Play, and the Amazon App Store. Download it today. Now, this is the game that I was expecting to get for my PSP. This is The Sims 2 for the PC. A simple yet very intricate simulation of life for these semi-automated dolls called The Sims. The focus is on your sim and keeping them happy, not miserable, and earning enough money, building relationship, building up your household, and getting more things to keep your sims happy. And after all that, the rest is up to you on how you want to play the game. The Sims 2 on the PSP, on the other hand, is this. That's right, your simulation of life has turned into a puzzle adventure RPG where you have grinding minigames and are trying to keep your one and only controllable sim from dying while you solve everyone else's problems. This might seem like a massive departure for The Sims 2, however this game wasn't made by Maxis. Instead, it was either licensed out or contracted out to Amaze Entertainment, the same studio who would later make LEGO Star Wars 2 for the Nintendo DS. So what do you actually do in this game? Well, unlike The Sims 2 on PC, where you're focused on just making your sim happy and sort of building up their household, here you're more focused on just trying to complete quests and unlocking secrets and whatnot, mostly just as an excuse to get from one minigame to the next, similar looking minigame. As you go through the game, you'll discover more mini-games and discover more plots and quests as you go through it, and that's primarily the focus. You can play the PSP game like a one-sim version of the PC game, where you can build up a small household as you purge the ghosts that live in it, but it's not as enjoyable or as relatable as the actual Sims 2 game. But if you thought they were going to be a little bit inventive with how you actually increase your skills, then you'll be a little bit wrong, because on the PSP game, everything from improving your skills to minigames all require endless, monotonous, tiring button mashing. And it goes from the beginning of the game all the way to the end of the game. Stat boosting is the absolute worst and could have been removed entirely. But the rest of the minigames are actually pretty fun, especially the social minigame and some of the action reflex minigames. And normally, the sheer amount of minigames and button mashing that the game expects you to do would kill most other games. But The Sims 2 has an ace up its sleeve with its story mode. From how you begin the game to how it ends, the entire game feels like a satirical look at the Sims series as a whole, with some pretty witty and dark dialogue scattered throughout the middle. If you played previous Sim games, you'll get an absolute kick out of this. And as a result, you'll just want to keep playing this game, see what happens next, what wacky and insane directions you'll go into next. One minute you'll be saving a failing marriage, next minute you'll be signing up to a cow-worshipping cult. It's insane, and I absolutely love it. Though the story is enjoyable and is my favorite part of the game, The Sims 2 is still ultimately a flawed experience. There are glitches everywhere in this game. If you don't save often, you'll have to repeat large chunks of it. And on top of that, the game also loads everything from disk. And I'm not even just talking about loading in new areas. I'm talking music, I'm talking dialogue, I'm talking dancing. From the most mundane of things, the game will just lag, and if you're playing on an original PSP, you'll have a bad time. This is one of the few PSP games where backing it up is almost a requirement in order to have an enjoyable time with it, with minimal loading. It doesn't eliminate it completely, but it helps. But is that enough not to get The Sims 2 for the PSP? In my view, no, it's at least worth looking at. The game is a very interesting title. As a licensed game, I feel The Sims 2 went in ways which Maxis and EA probably would have never gone for the mainline series. And the game's story is so unique. I don't think I've ever played a game with a story half as amusing as this ever. But the game's downsides are prevalent. It's repetitive, it doesn't have a good endgame, and it has constant, endless, eternal loading, even without the frigging disc. How did they manage to do this? Making the game a little difficult to recommend to absolutely everyone. If you're looking at this game and you look at the clips that I've been showing throughout the video and you think the game looks at least interesting, I think it's definitely worth picking up. It's a cheap title and it has one of the best plots for a PSP game that I've played, at least for a game within its price bracket. But anyways, thank you ever so much for watching. Hope you have yourself a good day, and as always, take care.